Turf Talk with Drew Miller.
Welcome back to Tiger Turf Talk after some time off. We've had a very, very exciting series being planned. And I'm proud to announce that we spent the last weekend down in Greenville, North Carolina, where we attended the first ever inaugural all-female grounds crew for the Softball Little League World Series. And it is truly one of the most incredible things that I've ever been a part of. When you talk about the people that were involved, the women on the grounds crew, those that helped plan the whole event out. And this series is going to give you the backstory on everything and everyone. And it has been truly an incredible opportunity to discuss what each and every one of these crew members have been up to in their careers and how much this event meant to them. And truly, it is one of the most monumental things to happen in our field's history, being able to break through that glass ceiling, as they love to say, because they truly are, and they are some of the most incredible professionals that you will ever see, ever meet. And I think that's what is so truly incredible about this event was not the fact that it happened, not the fact that we finally are being more inclusive and showing and showcasing the hard work of these women, but they are just some of the most incredible human beings that you will ever meet. And to be able to see them work together on such a stage as a World Series truly was one of the most inspiring things that I have ever seen. And I am so honored and blessed to be able to bring you just sort of the story behind it all. And it was incredible. I mean, we sat in a shed in left field and talked to each and every one of the grounds crew members. And it really shows their passion for what sports field management is. And what is absolutely incredible about all of this is that it is females in our industry that have been 30-year veterans. There have been at the professional stage, people who are working on parks and recs, little league fields, and even students who, again, are very new to this industry. And I personally was able to watch two of my students, one an alumni and one a current student, just have pure joy in what I have been passionate about my entire life. And I can't tell you how much that meant to me and how absolutely incredible this whole event was. And the fact that they were representing who they are as professionals, not only to us, the industry, to the people that keep a watchful eye on sports field managers, but to all the players and to all the people who follow along on ESPN and different platforms that these women have reached. And I can't tell you enough how incredible all of them are, and just to see the camaraderie and the relationship building that occurred in hours and days time, there truly isn't anything that you can think of that is just like this. It is humbling to see these professionals work. And again, it's just another day at the office for them. And to see them come together to showcase themselves, their profession, and just to be incredible people, I personally want to thank Son Roesslein and Chris Ball for inviting me down to be a part of this event because, again, not only did I get to see my kids, but I've have some really great friends who are on the crew. I got to meet some of the incredible industry professionals that I have been following for their entire career, um, and just really create great friendships. What we really saw here was a family being formed. it is something that will last forever. Um, and I know there will be more, and I know there will be years to come where there's female grounds crews assembled, whether it's back at the Little League World Series, whether it's professional championships, whatever it is. But this moment was so special and truly, I I still cannot put words to what it was. And again, it is something that we all need to pay attention to because it is truly phenomenal what this event has done and how well they maintain that playing surface, and really truly just how everything came together and worked. And to see the joy in my students' eyes, the joy in my friends' eyes, and the joy just overall for the entire time through the rain delays, through the uh flooding in left field, through all of these things, they just were so excited to be a part of a crew of their peers. And it's something that as an industry, we should be able to understand that they are incredible workers, they're incredible employees, they're incredible employers, they're some of the best in our industry to ever do it. And when we were there, one of the big things that was a common theme was the fact that the younger generation has so much passion and so much interest for what we're doing that it is just incredible to see. They'll talk about it in this, but there was a game that was not planned that ended up being played at East Carolina University as a consolation game for international friendlies that got eliminated quickly, too quick. And they wanted to provide the opportunity. And a lot of the younger kids on the crew, so the college students and high school students, got to go over. And that's one of the most fondest memories they'll have because they were doing the nitty gritty work. And then the absolute industry legends and leaders who had been doing a lot of the work at the stadium, they were like, you know what? We're gonna put them to the test. They're gonna run it for the championship game. So when you're talking about the prime time of prime time, you saw the younger generations of the grounds crew take over and thrive. And that is what it's all about. And that's what we all should be looking to and looking forward to, is to find that next generation, to find the passion, to find those who are going to take us to the next level. And that's what these women did. And that's what they're going to continue to do. So, to each and every one of you, I love you all. I truly cannot thank you enough for allowing me to tell your story. And just I, with everything, uh, like I said, it's like a family. And I truly cannot thank you enough for allowing me to be a part of it. Um, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Tiger Turf Talk. Welcome from Greenville, North Carolina, here at the Softball Little League World Series. We have Miss Sun Roesslein, CSFM Stadium Manager for North Area Athletic Complex, and Mr. Chris Ball, Ewing Irrigation Sports Field Account Manager for the Southeast. I'm here because of you guys,
Yeah.
And the great thing about this, and I'm so excited for this podcast because I really want to hear what was the whole idea behind the first ever all-female grounds crew at the Softball Little League World Series. So if you could tell us sort of how it came to fruition, where it all started, and sort of how it became where we are today.
Started with a phone call, just like every good idea does, just
Yeah.
with a conversation. And I wish I could tell you dates, but it's been a long week. I know I'll start with this year, and I think Son and I talked on Twitter, maybe, right?
Yep.
And maybe that was last year, November, December, something like that. And said, hey, let's get together in Savannah at conference and see what we can do. about making something like this happen, whether it's her coming out or whether it's 3 or 4. Little did I know that 16 people are inbound to Raleigh, and here we are on day 3 for you guys?
Yeah.
Day 3, and then for me, I think this is day 14. But I live here, so it's pretty easy for me. So.
I hear you.
Yeah, so it started with a conversation in Savannah, and then probably weekly conversations starting in about March. Is that about right, son?
Yeah, probably. It was a lot of logistics and figuring out the stuff behind the scenes, and so yeah, lots of conversations. I've gotten to know Chris real well.
Yep, yep, and you know, it was a lot of work, just a lot of moving parts, and we figured we would need to get Little League behind it too, to give us their blessing. And little did they know that little did we know that they're responsible for a lot of the travel and the lodging, which are 2 massive pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Again, you know, we've got ladies in from all over the country, so it's not just the Southeast, and so many moving parts. And then we got some other sponsors involved, and people want to help. They wanted to see it. It's been an awesome ride, and the tough thing is that they have to go home Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I've made some great friends this week and met some incredible people, and that's what our business is about, is relationships and meeting people. And I couldn't have asked for a better week.
Absolutely. Honestly, like, and again, I'm honored to be here and to be able to do this, because it is truly incredible, like, what you guys have done, and the momentum and the sheer impact that it's going to have on not just our industry, but I mean, you've got 100 softball players watching, a full female grounds crew, just killing it, you know?
Yeah, and they've seen it, and they know, and they get it. We've had, I think it was the Mid-Atlantic, we're just watching them during a rain delay, and like, I was standing over here just kind of in the wing, in the weeds, you know, and they were like, wow, she's really doing that. Like this, you know, if we can get one kid out of this to do this as a career, or take an internship, or even take a class, I think we've done what we set out to do.
Absolutely.
I really do.
I honestly think there'll be a lot more than one, but yeah, completely. So, son, for you, again, being a part of the Olympia and is it Olympus?
Olympic Club.
Olympic. See, I was wrong
Yeah.
both times. And Pine Needles, finally seeing it on the sports turf side, field, whatever. I'm sorry, SFMA.
Got it.
What has it been like for you to come to this point? You know, where it's now all inclusive, all areas of turf, and specifically your side of turf, you know?
It's super exciting. You know, I'd never worked on a golf course before the Olympic Club, so while there's lots of things that cross over, it still wasn't my home, my passion, and absolutely loved my experiences with that. But now to have it in the sports field world is setting the bar a lot higher, definitely.
So with everything we're talking about, you have people all across the country. What was it like? Obviously, you reached out to me about someone who would maybe be interested, and Julie was the first one I sent. What was that process like, sort of putting together? Like you were saying, just having Sun come, or having 3 people, and now you have 16. What was that process like, and how did they take the news of hey, we want you to be a part of the first ever inaugural all-female grounds crew?
So when we were first starting to put this together, I had asked the SFMA staff to put together a list of emails of all of our female members of the association. So sent out kind of an early interest email, hey, are you available these dates? Are you interested? Maybe this doesn't work for you, maybe it does. And so we got a list of people who were interested and on board right away. And then have added a few more over the last
Sorry about that.
couple.
No.
No, it's been fantastic. So, just people who were willing to jump in and go for a fun ride and get this thing off the ground.
It's definitely been a fun ride, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
and I spend the bulk of my time in the Carolinas. So we had Marissa, who was at USC.
Yeah.
Morgan, who was in Columbia with the Fireflies, and then Holly, who works for Matt Parrott with the Knights. And I saw them face to face, and I think I said something to Marissa last year about it, and said something to Morgan last year about it, and then at the ACC tournament this year, said something to Holly about. Actually, said something to Matt about it, and then he's like, "Yeah, Holly definitely do it if she can." And
Yeah.
and so that was cool to have three girls that I know, and then everybody else. I knew Sun a little bit, and I knew Amy a little bit, and Sarah a little bit, but not not much. And then what we did today at East Carolina, having the younger kid yesterday and today with playing an auxiliary game at East Carolina, and having like the younger girls that just stepped in there and got dirty and fell down and had a really good time. And in fact, your Liz, she's a little rock star. So it's been really neat for me to do this.
East Carolina has been their highlight. All the A&M girls and Liz and all them, they can't stop talking about East Carolina.
Yeah.
What you guys are doing over
Well,
there.
that's the thing too. We thought we had the travel party done, and then you stepped in, and then Weston Floyd at A&M called me last Friday.
Yeah.
Last Friday, I was picking somebody up at the airport, and called last Friday at like 11 o'clock, and they're here. So
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. What has been sort of your guys' highlights of the week? Obviously, getting to know each other better, understanding, like, just meshing. Like, you notice the growth over time, I wasn't here for the very first games, but they were like, well, we were kind of stepping on each other's toes and trying to figure all this out, and now it's just a well-oiled machine. What has been some of the highlights so far, and what is it that has been, like, this is going to be a lifelong memory? Well, it's already going to be that, but you know what I mean. The little things that you always remember about it.
I think everything's going to be lifelong memory, right?
Yes.
But the things that are going to stick out are those connections that are forming and building of people you haven't known before. Of course, those are going to be people that have become friends and kind of turf family.
Yeah.
That's the kind of the biggest thing for me, are watching those connections build and form and grow.
Absolutely. What about you, Chris?
there are several, but I want to. You guys are a lot more organized than guys are. I mean, you really are. I'm predominantly almost my entire career. I think I had 2 females that worked with me.
Yeah.
And to come in and I mean, like, they're here for an hour and they totally redo our little lounge in there to fit 16 people. We could barely fit 7 in there. When it comes to flipping the fields, it's like, what's the plan? Like, there needs to be a plan, and there's a plan, and everybody's stuck with it. I mean, just a very different type of organization piece that I've learned from them is really, really neat. And for me, because this is my hometown and this is my community, to see the people within the community, so the Little League board, all the tournament organizers, to mesh with everybody, and how it opened their eyes, and seeing all the other volunteers really take note that, like, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah.
I think. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you caught it this morning, I think. The parents started cheering, "Let's go,
Yeah.
grounds crew."
I think I had the last little bit, but yeah.
Oh, that was like chills. Like, what just happened?
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
I've never experienced that before. And to have the players walk by and go grounds crew, where I'm like, no, wait, we're cheering for you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's been really special, too.
Right. Well, and again, because this is in my hometown, I played here. Both my brothers played here. We spent a lot of time as a family down here. And when this event came, it was like, yeah, there's no way that I'm not going to do something. And I didn't know I was going to get roped into doing all of the stuff that I've done.
Yeah.
But, we've got a fleet of equipment that we're waiting on final delivery on. Never in a million years would I thought that Elm Street Park would have modern equipment. Never in a million years would I have thought that I would have. I was talking to Jake about this last night, that seeing the field that I played on host a World Series. When I think Italy and Latin America played the other day, that was the first international game that's ever been played out here. And this place has got a long, long history, and we've had our boys teams go to Williamsport several times, get really close to winning at Williamsport, and just the history and the blood, sweat, and tears that I've put in here over the years, and how this really is a centerpiece of our community, our Little League program is, and to what Brian and Ann do on a regular basis, on a weekly basis here every summer, and then to almost have this as a culmination of every year is just, it's really cool. I mean, it really, really is a cool experience.
Yeah. That was one of my questions for you. What does it mean to you, again, like being like from here, playing on this field as a kid, seeing where it's come from and how you've been like there to help build it up to where it's at?
Yeah.
What has that meant for you, and what does it mean to have this grounds crew working on that field?
Oh, it's great, you know, and you take lessons with you every day, and I've learned a lot about these ladies, and a lot about different types of relationships that you have with people in the industry, and just the sheer fact to watch a group of people that don't know each other that come into a place all striving for the same goal and doing it in a hurry, in an efficient hurry, has been really, really cool to see and be a part of. And like I told him on an early Zoom call that we had, like I don't like to bark orders and shout and all that, and it's just we have a conversation and they get after it. So
yeah, for sure. You were saying earlier they're so organized and everything. I've always said all the girls in my classes, they're more meticulous. They care about what it looks like. They're gonna try harder than the boys, and they're not gonna run into fences like guys. It's happened one too many times for my taste, But again, it's incredible to see everything come together the way it has. And if you could speak to sort of your relationships with the girls and with everything, I mean, it's just been so much fun. Everyone's having a great time. Their nicknames being thrown around. It's just been so upbeat. And again, it was pouring. It wasn't that. That's not something fun, but everybody was having fun. They had the duck, everything. If you could sort of talk to that and let people know like how incredible you guys all are. Sorry, I'm telling you to brag.
How incredible. Well, it is super special. I mean, it's the first time anything like this has happened, so it's really special. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of buzz. There's been a lot of lead up, and like we said, we've been talking a whole lot leading up to it, and we got to a point where we're like, let's just be there. We're ready. We're ready to hit the ground running, and so the excitement that's led up to getting here is just carried over into the rest of every single minute.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
For sure. With everything, obviously, it takes a lot of time, a lot of planning. What are some things this year that have been different, obviously, than other than the ground crew? But Chris, what's been different this year for you compared to years past?
Well, I mean, this is year 2 for me, so this is still a new experience for me, and we're growing and learning every year. I think last year I had 26 volunteers from all over the country, all guys. This year, I think the total number with all the females name badges, we printed 46 name badges this year. So, and the coolest thing, last night we're out in the parking lot, having a beer, and we're already starting to talk about what we want to do next year. Like, do we want to do that? We want you guys in on the front side. Do we want to have 2 groups? We have an early group and a late group. It was a freaking success.
Yes.
When it boils down to it, it was everything that we planned, all the planning, all the moving parts. They worked, and they worked great. So now we're close to. We got 2 games left. We're close to year 3 already, and we talked about a debrief last night.
You're
You know, I
debriefing
mean, so-
before the debrief.
Yeah. So, but to me, all my years in baseball, my favorite time of the year was February 1st, because you're ordering your stuff, you're planning your program, you're bringing the field out of winter, trying to get ready for the April 1 date. So like, I don't know what today is the 14th. It's over tomorrow on the 15th. So August 16th is like February 1st. So,
That's awesome. I love that.
And I've gotten several Twitter messages from some other ladies in the industry that, I think I've shared them with some that are already, that have inquired and want to come, come next year, or at least just get on the list.
Oh.
Just get on the list. We hope to beat people away with a stick. We really do.
Yeah.
So, and again, Little League has been so gracious in to do this for us, and they're behind this effort. They're behind improving my little ballpark in my little slice of the world here.
Yeah.
So who knows what the future is going to lead to? And I think it's imperative that they're here, that we have such a strong presence of ladies in our field here.
100%.
I really do.
And I think that's what's so amazing about the week is that it's highlighting what they do every day. It's their jobs, and to be able to put that on full blast on ESPN and all these different things, it just shows how incredible and the incredible opportunity for females that they have in this industry, seeing Liz and Julie out here, like, I can't tell you, like, this is like a career moment for me, honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just the sheer, joy in their eyes and everything that they're doing, and I can't thank you enough for that, because I know, and you got Liz those boots, and she's freaking out.
Oh, she was in the car just going, she's always got that big smile on her face anyway, just ear to ear smile, and she's scrubbing bases.
Yeah.
All game.
With a permagrin.
She got her new boots on, and she is just jacked up.
Yeah. So I can't thank you enough for that too.
Oh yeah.
And you guys said it, like, it's moments that they're gonna last forever,
Yep.
And it's just been great to be a part of it. Apologies.
And like
Yeah.
for me, seeing that excitement in a young person is energizing me again too. It's inspiring to be like, yes, I remember those days.
Yeah.
I need to bring that back a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I love what I do every day, but to have a permagrin that's the goal.
And that was my next question. I was like, what has it been like, again, sort of being the mentor to these young girls that are on the crew from colleges, even like Leah, who's been in the industry for 5 years or so. Like, what has it been like to be able to, like, mentor them and in such a small time frame, but, like, have that impact, just like the impact of the event itself? Like, what has it been like for you having that impact?
I don't know. I guess I never really thought about that piece or that angle of being a mentor. Somebody did it for me back in the day, and so there's nothing better than to turn around and give that back to the next person, or the next two people, hopefully the next three people.
Yeah.
Once you kind of crack that door open, the next person opens a little bit wider for more to keep coming through. So that means a lot.
Yeah, of course. And you're one of the best to do it, and I've always said that. And Liz, Julie, even Snap and Chat. They were. I was talking to them the other night, and they were just like, "This is awesome!" Like, and what's really cool is they're really, really early on. Like,
Yeah.
The Aggies are literally like 4 months in, and like I'm like, you guys, this is like a career moment for a lot of people, and it's pretty awesome that you're here and be able to experience all that. So. It's incredible to see.
It's a resume piece
Oh yeah.
for the future for them.
Yeah.
Which they don't understand probably now, but that's a big deal. It really is.
100%.
It really is.
With everything, an event like this takes so much and so much time and planning and whatnot. What was some of the hurdles that you guys had to overcome? If we're allowed to talk about that, you can say no, but like some of the hurdles getting to this point again, it has been flawless. When you talk about the experience, what they're doing, how they've been doing, the interaction, having the opportunity to spend time together outside of the stadium, hanging out, things like that. What was some of those hurdles that got to this point?
Well, I'll start. last year it was tough last year because we were just coming off of COVID.
Yeah.
So they have certain rules and regulations that they had to, that all the volunteers had to adhere to.
Mm-hmm.
My fear was that was going to come back at the last minute, which it didn't, which is great.
We're here.
Which is good. We're here. For me personally, I'm not like an Excel guy at all.
Yeah.
And to have
Me
that
neither.
list of people
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
for all of the volunteers that have come in, keeping up with who's coming in, who's leaving, who's checking out of the hotel, what day, what night, how many rooms do we need, what time flights are getting in, do we have rental cars, do we have a room for the ladies to operate out of at the hotel,
Yeah.
to do certain things. It's a lot of logistical pieces, but then you look at it, and what we do as sports field managers, we're way beyond just grass cutters and dirt groomers. We're event managers, and this is an event. So you just take it and run with it. And I don't know that we've had too many curveballs thrown at us,
Not too bad.
other than the 3 a.m. arrival
Yeah.
from the Texas girls and Kelly.
Yeah.
But
Well, anytime there's a first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to be building the foundation and
100%.
trying to start to create some framework. And then on the second, then you improve on what happened in the beginning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think we've got pretty darn good foundation
I do too.
started.
I do
and I'm
too.
really excited to take what we've started here, build on it, improve on it, make it better, and make it more efficient. I think we've
well,
got a good guts.
and maybe I'm selfish, but to be able to have you guys here for the first ever sports field piece to this, you're probably going to go somewhere else, but you're always going to come back here. You better.
Yeah.
You better.
It's been so awesome, and I can't thank Chris enough for just saying yes. Like, let's do it.
It was a
Like,
no-brainer.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
It was an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, the representation is just beyond anything anyone could ever imagine, And again, it's great to see, and hopefully people are spreading it around outside of ESPN and all that. I know that I got interviewed the other day. I don't know why, but for one of the local newsreel, you know why, but it's just great. I mean, I think there was like 7 times where the flashed on to you guys and talked about the first ever all-female grounds crew, and it's so cool because it's the inaugural, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I'm not saying it's not going to be any less special than the other ones, but like that first one's always going to be like something incredible, and it's
Yeah, and I think too when we talk after this and we get feedback from all the other ladies, and I know I do it with the other volunteers that come in. It's like, what do we need? Do we need what tools do we need? Do we need a backpack sprayer full of green paint? How do we do things better? How do we get better? What can we do? What can I do as a host to make life better and easier too? So, I'm excited. I mean, I don't know that there's a lot that we would change, but
I think your hosting was great.
Well.
There was food, there was drinks, there was everything that they needed in the trailer. Always made sure everything was good to go.
yeah,
Liquid IV.
liquid IV,
Lifesaver this
baby.
week.
I
Holy
had 2
cow.
of those today.
I just had one and I can feel it kicking in right now. I had the caffeine
The
one.
energy one. So they're going on the sponsor list next
Oh,
year.
yeah. Between that and 264 shoes, I think 264 shoes made a pile of money from this group.
Yeah.
As they did last year. It's
They
funny.
were-
Last year, we were as a whole, the region was just soaked last year, and a handful of the little league execs came in, and one of the operations guys saw me wearing them, and he's like, "Where'd you get those?" And I said, "Fowler bought like 3 pair.
Yeah.
Jeff bought like 3 pair." But anyway, so
Surprised you didn't have them before.
yeah, right.
You know?
So yeah, that's been funny and fun. But
Yeah, they loved that store.
Yeah.
That was like the talk of the town. I walked in and like, you like my boots? I was like, sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone here has them, so congratulations. But no, again, it's just there are so many unique opportunities, and you guys doing this has been phenomenal. Son, do you see it becoming something even bigger? Obviously, coming back to Little League World Series, that's a given. But do you see other events maybe sort of doing a women's and turf, like Super Bowl? Just throw that out there. But do you see that happening and working with people to make that happen?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
You know, we're doing those jobs every day at some level. But yeah, I think that's the ultimate goal, to get on those big stages and bring some awareness about our industry and hopefully inspire some people to get involved. Yeah, there's lots of ideas out there for sure. And like, this is an extremely awesome event, but just timing wise, it didn't work out for some people, right? School's starting, you got family vacations happening.
Football
Starting. Yeah, in fact, so we get back on Tuesday and my first soccer game is Thursday. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we're fall season for sure, but you know, just this timing didn't work out.
Don't remind me.
I know. But, you know, a different event at a different venue at a different time of the year is going to bring a whole new group,
Yeah.
right? So we get to get more
100%.
people involved than that just, you know, couldn't make it this time for whatever reason. So more options, more opportunities.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for
Let's
sure.
do it. Call me.
yeah.
I'm right here first. Call Son. I almost did it again.
Yes!
Oh my
I
God.
love it. Yes.
Oh my. What is wrong with me?
You're fine.
I'm literally not.
You're fine.
This is like hour 6 today, so I'm kind of like.
Yeah, probably.
I've said a lot of words, and Son, I'm so sorry.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
I'm so sorry. With the sponsors and everything, you guys are doing something really cool with the softballs and the banners and whatnot. What has it been like to get sponsors to help with the event? Obviously, Little League is doing a lot, but creating those relationships with like Bulldog and Pure Seed, and I should probably stop talking because I have a long list if I say them all. But what has it been like creating those relationships to have these events, and this event specifically? What has it been like to create those relationships to help fund everything?
Well, longevity in the industry gets you a lot of favors, I guess. You know, and again, that's the neatest thing about our industry is that 99.9% of the people in this industry want to help each other.
Mm-hmm.
And all it took was an email or a phone call or a text, you know, to a lot of them. And it's like, absolutely. So it's been that was really cool to see how quick that came together.
Yeah. And even to have people who we didn't necessarily have on our list to contact reach out and say, I want to be a part of this. I want to support you. How can I get involved? What can I do to help? That really surprised me.
Yeah.
And so that makes it even more important or makes it show that this is super important and people want to be here and be part of it
Yeah.
and get behind this.
Absolutely.
Keep it moving.
And I think that's so, I mean, it's a running theme throughout all these podcasts that we've been doing, is the relationships you're making, like having a strong relationship with the people around you, like knowing you since I've talked about it, the bus at Phoenix, remember? That's how we first met. I told the story to the Aggie girls, and it was like, just from that moment, like you were always there. Whenever I emailed you, texted you, whatever it was, those relationships, I mean, it's incredible to have that and have these times where you guys can bring everyone together, and you two specifically. So again, it's incredible how much work you guys have done to create this, and I hope they know and really appreciate everything you guys did. So with this, obviously we sort of talked about future. Is there anything specific that you sort of are leaning towards for next year when it comes to this, or anything majorly different? Or Son's smiling. She's like, I have ideas.
I was a little overwhelmed
Yes.
on the first on Friday morning with the amount of human beings that were pinched inside this little teeny tiny field.
We were too.
So it's kind of, you know, what's our magic number?
Yeah.
You know, what's our magic number? Is it 10? Is it 8? Is it 12? Could we run 2 crews? You know, morning group, evening group, you know, things like that. And I do have to say this too. We were so I was so far, and this is due to the early group that came in, was so far ahead of where we were last year that we legitimately could have taken the Sunday and Monday off before the tournament started, like off, like not even shown up, because we had fortuitous weather, if you will, this summer. It's been dry, so there's been we don't have drainage here. This is an old goat back here. It's got good bones, but
good memories too.
Yeah, but we were so far ahead of where we were last year that it put me in a better place. So as far as changes going forward, I think we'll probably look at that magic number, what that is, and the other piece is, now we've done the tournament piece of it, we've done the game administration piece of it. What about the front side? Because for me, that's a lot of fun. That piece is a lot of fun too. So, is that something that, because you get to really put the finishing touch on the field that was flipped from a baseball field to a softball field.
Yeah.
You get to put that. You get to put your signature on that. You take all the deliveries. You stage everything. You make sure the bolts on the rakes are tight. Things like you're basically doing an off season's worth of work in a week, if that. Coming in here in this little room. I hung up those magnetic strips, and we hung up more tool hangers. We figured we needed a weed eater, so we bought a weed eater. Just the prep and things like that, and having everybody here's a pro, even the young kids. They have gone from wet behind the ears to a pro in a short amount of time. They're really good. Like, they're really good at all their little tasks. So maybe the next piece she's awake.
Yeah.
So the next piece.
Snap took a half-hour nap earlier, guys.
Smart. So the next piece is, do we want to come on the front side? Do we want to try to have a full? Do we want to just try to have full female representation during the entire thing and mix them in with the guys?
Yeah.
So because we're all going to work together at some point in time.
Yeah.
So, that's just something, and availability may be different next year.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
There might be homestands.
Little League may kick me out. I don't know.
Well, hopefully
So.
not. I think you've done enough for them to be like, yeah, we should probably keep them around. Maybe just a little bit.
So, my agenda with doing this, being the field guy for this thing, is that my little one, he's got about 7 more years until he starts to play out here. So if I can pull the right strings and push the right buttons for him to have a palace to play on when he's 9, it's not a bad thing.
No, not at all.
I would say for us too, there's one woman on the crew who had been here before. None of the rest of us had eyes on the place before we walked in the gates, other than Chris giving us a FaceTime tour over one of our Zoom meetings.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
So, to figure out where things are and how can we organize tools a little bit better. Like we were talking the other day, we need to have some sort of a moving rack to move the rakes off of this and create more space so we can make the turnaround more efficient and we're not tripping over each other and tripping over brooms and rakes and stuff because there's a small space. But yeah,
I have to trip 10 times before I figure out I need to move something. I'm that
Well,
kind of person.
and to me it's culture shock, because I was, last year I came in here and I'm used to having a stadium with room, with storage and with an office and with, a mile-long wall that everything gets hung up on. And you come here and we've got let's call this a 16 by 8
That's generous, but yeah.
barn, and that may be real generous. And then under the stadium, we've got a little bit of room. So, and then too, we got a 200-foot fence out there. So, it's like I said, it's Yiddle. It's a Yiddle place. It's really small.
Oh,
so.
it's a beautiful setting, though.
It is.
What a unique, amazing little stadium you have here, and the surround and the trees. It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's a great spot.
I tell you, it's really awesome in the fall.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Other than Brian goes crazy because of the pine straw out in right field.
Yeah.
Every day, but it's really neat in the fall. So. But.
You have to give us a FaceTime tour of that.
We will.
Yeah.
We will.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
We will.
With everything, obviously, you want to grow more. You want more
people showing up. What would you tell people or females in this industry, like, what's the best way about getting to be a part of this next year or in years to come?
Well, the original list came from being a Sports Field Management Association member. So being involved in whether it's your local chapter or national chapter, that's how people know who you are. That's how we know how to contact you. So being involved, asking questions, I think is the best start, because I know you're out there somewhere. Haven't met you yet.
We'll find you. Don't worry. For
Yep.
sure. And then she was just talking about, my mind skipped it, but the stadium is just phenomenal.
Well,
where it's set up.
You guys may have seen the largest
Attendance last night?
in the little history. So that was, to me, I saw people last night that I hadn't seen in 25 years.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
that was pretty neat. Now, some of them I wanted to see, some of them I didn't, but you know how that goes.
Oh gosh.
So,
no,
That's great.
for sure. Yeah.
That's great.
Well, I just want to say thank you guys so much. Chris is running out for a call.
I'll be right back.
Another day in the life, right?
For sure. So what's I'm losing my thoughts. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What's it been like for you? I mean, hanging out with obviously you're friends with a lot of them, and then there's all the new kids and even older ones that you know. What's it been like for you guys just hanging out, again, doing your job? I just love the fact that, like, as someone who knows, like, they don't understand that this is just your work. This is everything that you do, and it's just great that they get to see it, What has it been like?
Well, it's been pretty interesting. Back home and at my stadium, there are two of us, myself and Christy Clay, and that's our staff. Yeah. So we're used to, if something needs to get done, we're doing it. We have to jump in.
Yeah.
So that actually took some adjustment for me, where I'm ready to get running. I'm, hands-on and everything, but for me to kind of take a step back and
breathe for a second.
Breathe a little bit. And then Chris kind of mentioned this phrase earlier, and it really struck me over at ECU. It was almost a learning lab for the kids. It's like workshop central, right? Like, hey, let's use this spot to teach, to put somebody on something that they've never touched before.
Yeah.
Try something out. If your line's not perfectly straight, you've painted a line now, and you're just going to keep getting better. So, it has been a little bit of an adjustment, kind of stepping back and not feeling like I have to get everything done. But it's been really, really cool to watch those mentorships growing, where seasoned veterans are teaching newbies.
Yeah.
Hey, here's my trick. Here's my tip. Here's how I do this, and you
so
might
cool.
do it different, but this is my approach.
I love how it's like, oh, you can do it that way? What about, like, what if I, like, this is how I was taught, but, like, no. And, like, always it's great to see, taking pieces from what you like and making it your own, So, yeah, it's definitely, it's been really cool to see. And being able to talk to the girls throughout the entire time, like, they're, like, freaking out over things, loving every moment of it, and it's just been great to see, especially when it comes to, again, like you're saying, the learning lab. I just think that's so cool, because like that's what my classroom is,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
that's what I live for. So it's awesome to be on a stage like this, to be the learning lab, with everything. What is your sort of goal when it comes to, what was your goal? Sorry, I'm losing it. What was your goal when you set out to try and get this and really see it being accomplished now?
Sure. Well, the first thing was to create a great playing surface for these athletes. This is their World Series. Like, it is their Super Bowl for these kids out here. So I think that's been accomplished. The field's playing great. To bring these women together and have these experiences and have the chance to bond and learn from each other and connect, where that isn't always that easy. Even at conference, like, some kids are doing the student challenge, like, right after the women's luncheon, and so there's conflicts even there, where we can't always all get together and have this dedicated time, where now we can kind of joke around and have some fun and start the nickname game and play Skippo and the rain delay, and so those moments are really special. That can only happen here, not at conference. So.
Yeah, I think the special moments is what makes this event just incredible, and be able to see, again, we're talking about across the country. They're going to be taking this stuff back, and they'll be able to talk to other people that are in the industry and be like, this is one of the greatest things that ever happened, and the dedication that you and Chris have had to this is just, it's out of this world. And again, I keep thanking you, but it's truly like incredible. And I can't thank you enough for letting Liz come, because that was a really last minute ask, and I was like, she's gonna kill me if I don't ask, but I also don't want to ask because it's like, a week and a half. But she is, I mean, it's out of this world, her experience here. So,
and she's such a delight. I mean, she's brought a whole nother level to the whole crew.
she's gotta stop scrubbing those bases.
Hey, those things are sparkling.
That is, well, she spent an hour on it.
That's great.
Night. Yeah, but
She's loving it.
No,
I mean,
for
hey,
sure,
do what
for
you
sure.
love.
Yeah.
If that means you're scrubbing bases, because that's your thing,
Absolutely.
like, yeah, it's fantastic.
hopefully that was good news for you.
No update as of this moment.
Got it.
So that's not good news, but
I can't say it on the air.
you're good. You're good. It's all good. With everything, I always love to ask questions about how you take what you do in your jobs and bring it to events like this, and to have like relationships build based off your experiences. What have been some of the things that you sort of have brought to the table here, whether that's storytelling with everybody, or talking, or just having, like you were saying a second ago, with taking parts of practices and making it their own? What has that been like, and how has this event sort of differed from other things you've been involved in?
Well,
I'm
this one's
babbling
different,
questions, sorry.
because I haven't actually touched or worked on dirt for a long time. Rectangle sports over here, so lots of grass.
Yep.
Grass and paint, but gosh, how has it differed? I don't know. That's kind of a tough one.
Sorry.
I mean, everything's different
Yeah.
about it,
Yeah.
I'm really lucky in that my coworker is a female, so
Yeah.
we might be the only all-female crew in sports fields anywhere.
We need to
day-to-day.
highlight that. Somebody,
Day-to-day
SFMA,
basis.
let's get that together.
Yeah. But, Christy stayed home to make sure that the stadium was ready for kicking off fall sports, and so, I don't even know where I was going with that, to be honest
No,
with you. I'm with
you're
you.
good. Just so everybody knows, this is like hour 10 on the 4th day, and everybody's tired, and they've done so much work. So,
And we got to put the tarp on tonight.
Yay!
ooh.
So
Double bad news. Everyone's favorite thing in the world, tarps. Leah was complaining she hasn't pulled tarp more than she has here at Reno. I was
in like her whole career there.
yeah, I'm
I'm
like,
sure.
oh, so sad. Yeah, you have to water. Boo-hoo.
It's a small tarp. It's a small
Yeah.
tarp.
Yeah.
It
It
is.
goes on easy.
It does.
Yeah. With everything, is there anything you want to share personally about the event that nobody really sees, sort of like the backstory for you at this event? Coming to an end tomorrow, obviously, it's been a whirlwind and so much going on. Is there anything that would be really cool for everybody to know about that they don't get to see since they're not here or present?
Well, I think I've got 16 really good friends now. And, I think I'm probably older than everybody except for Amy and Kelly. So I've got 14 little sisters and 2 big sisters now, which is really, really cool. And it's a big, I hope I don't get too emotional, but I lost my sister in 2007. And because of the impact of the people in our industry, you really become like a family. You really do. And I've got 16 new sisters. So
That's awesome.
that's, yeah.
That's incredible.
So,
Yeah.
especially this one right here.
Yeah.
I can't answer that now. Holy cow.
Sorry.
We're not crying, I promise.
There's no crying in softball.
That's right.
This
Yeah,
is
just-
groundskeeping, not softball.
Just to see the connections build behind
Yeah.
the scenes. The first day, everybody's kind of shy, a little bit reserved, not really sure what to do. And once you start working together, then that carries over into the off the field, in the trailer, crew trailer hanging out. Yeah. And all the fun that you don't get to hear about,
Yeah.
which stays here. But yeah, seeing those connections build, kind of see some of especially the young girls come out of their shell. I've been super impressed with every single person who's like, hey, do you want to try this? Hey, do you want to jump on that? Yes,
Or how about,
absolutely.
or the
Showing
other
up.
ones that I want to.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do this today.
Yeah.
Like, can I do this? I want to do this.
Yeah, ask for volunteers to go work ECU softball, which was kind of a curveball. We didn't know that was coming. It was a surprise, and you got hands going up in the air. Like, absolutely, that's
the highlight.
That's really
for a lot of them,
inspiring.
Which is awesome. So
yeah, there's a lot of motivation there. So
for sure.
I think it's a great spot to foster that and hopefully help grow that.
Definitely. So I've asked you this already, which I'm going to ask it again because it might have a different answer. But we wrap up on these two, and you guys have two of the most incredible careers when it comes to sports field management and what you've accomplished and who you've met, 16 new sisters and everything. If there was one thing that you wish you knew when you were going into sports field management, it doesn't have to be like to make things better or easier.
This is easy for me.
What would you want to know and
ask
why?
for help? Do not be afraid to ask for help. Plain and simple. Ask for help.
Yeah.
Because in this industry, you'll get it.
Absolutely.
You'll get it.
Yeah.
Everybody picks up a phone. Everybody returns an email. Ask for help. You'll get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I second that.
Sounds good. So for the last question, you guys have, again, obviously Liz, Julie, and a bunch of the younger girls, they're just getting started, and it's fresh, new to them. Whatever they're looking for, talking to a couple of the Texan, they were like, well, I don't know if I want to do golf or sports field or whatever. Like, this is just something new. I'm really excited about it. What would be your best words of advice when it comes to taking that next step and figuring out what it is that they want to find their passion in? And I think the little side tangent, you guys have instilled passion into those girls, and it is truly incredible to be here and witness that, because that's going to carry them so much further than if they were not here,
Yeah.
And it's something that, as a teacher, back to my teacher, but like, those are the things that are truly incredible, and it's just awesome to see. But back to the question, sorry. What are the best words of advice you give them?
Our industry needs people bad, very bad. And they need good people, and don't be afraid to take that challenge, or don't be afraid to take that leap. The door in this piece of the industry right now is wide open for people to walk into it, and we need to use that as a positive and not a negative. You have the ability right now to take a chance and get involved. You really do, and I hope it gets better. I really, really do. But there are a lot of empty chairs right now, and we need, I guess, empty mowers right now is a better way to put it. And we need people. We really do. There are a lot of things you could go into on why there are those empty mowers, but again, it's the people you meet, the ability to work outside, the ability to use science on a daily basis, math on a daily basis, creativity on a daily basis. It's such a unique industry. It really is. What I do now on the backside of 20 plus years on the ground, there's a group of us that we're in a little hunting cabin, duck hunting club, and we're on a text chain, and just to piss them off, I show them pictures of where I am, whether I'm at University of South Carolina or the Panther Stadium or Dallas, or I was out in Fort Collins, Colorado in February, freezing my baguettes off, in a blizzard. But I get to go to really cool places, and I get to meet incredible people that share the passion and the love for not only sports field management, but for sports. And it's pretty daggone unique. I mean, it really is.
My kind of tried and true answer here is to stretch your comfort zone. I think try something new, and if it's a win, it's a win. If not, you're still going to learn something from it to move forward. Saying, I'll put in this application for the U.S. Women's Open turf team the first year, I was way out of my comfort zone. But to now, 2 years later, turn around and look at the friends that I've gained, the experiences that I've gained, and then to have Kimberly Gard ask the right questions and then just kind of walk away, leaving me to think about it. That's why we're sitting here at this table right now. So
It was awesome
stretch your
that they
comfort
came
zone.
out too, the group.
Oh,
from
yeah.
Daniels. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you guys for inviting me down to be able to do this. I hope to put together a really good series, but
After a couple days of rest.
no,
Yeah.
it'll be right away.
You gotta go back to work in the morning, don't you?
Yep, nice, bright and early, and I will not be bushy-tailed. I will be nice, half asleep, sitting in a staff meeting. But I want to thank you guys for having me down, and to be able to cover this has been a highlight of my career, honestly. And I didn't even really do anything. So
Yeah, you did.
You've done so much. You have helped us tell the story and get it out there. You know, you have a whole new audience that not like Chris has a different audience, and I have a different audience. So you're to get it out to your audience too. You're doing the same thing we're doing.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and look.
So thank you.
And I was gonna say, we want to thank you for being here, but for taking the initiative to do what you're doing with your kids and your class. I think you've probably spawned a couple of other schools to do the same thing. I know it's like South Forsyth in Georgia, in Forsyth County, Georgia, and like Bryn's class in Athens, Alabama, and hopefully a couple other places across the country. But what you've done with your little piece of the industry has been nothing short of awesome. Like really and truly, man. So kudos to you.
thank you.
Really
I
and truly.
appreciate that. I really do.
Absolutely.
Well, that is it for our start off to the series for the Softball the League World Series, the inaugural all-female grounds crew. And again, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Welcome.